Today, I'm going to show you 3 rotator cuff exercises to help you with your shoulder pain. Now, rotator cuff rehab for shoulder pain also looks a lot like a shoulder warm-up. So you can use these exercises not only to help you relieve your shoulder pain, but to prep for your shoulder day workouts to make sure you get your good shoulder workout. But welcome to the Anatomy of Therapy. I'm Dr. John Cybulski. Today we're going to review this exercise by Mr. Fitness Facts, and then secondarily we're going to go over this exercise. Tom Merrick, he's got 2. The second one's probably my favorite, but the first one is absolutely essential. And hopefully as we tear these down, dissect them, we will learn a little bit about the shoulder and perhaps why your shoulder is hurting. I hope your shoulder isn't hurting, but if it is, these are great for it. So the first exercise, banded pull aparts with a little bit of sauce to them. So that extra sauce that I'm talking about is this going up. Typically banded pull aparts are going straight out, but I like it going a little bit up at about 45-degree angle here, and I'll show you why in a second. So goes up and then we're able to pull it down and back. That is going to be the key. So let them go up. You want to keep your thumbs and pinkies out. You can see he's turning his palms up to the ceiling. This is to externally rotate his arms so that he can open up the chest and pull the shoulders back initially. So your pinkies are up. Pinkies up. You won't forget that. Pinkies up, and then you're going to pull back, okay? So that is the first step. At the very end, this is another thing that I see them in the gym all the time. I give this to my patients. At the very end, make sure you get a good squeeze. So you get the rhomboids to squeeze at the end. Now, the rhomboids are not part of your rotator cuff, but let's talk about what is. So when the arm goes up at 45 degrees, you are able to lengthen the muscles of the rotator cuff, which start right here at the edge of the shoulder blade. So this is going to be the shoulder blade basically, right? It's this triangular area just here. You have your infraspinatus, this big muscle going there, and then you have your supraspinatus above the spine of the scapula. The spine of the scapula is usually about there. So when the arm goes up, you get to pull the bottom end of the scapula up and out so that you can pull it all the way back and engage it. You'll know you've got the rotator cuff muscles in a good position if you also feel the rhomboids. So this isn't a rhomboid exercise per se, but it is a good sign that you're doing it correctly. So let it go out, let it come back up. Again, look, he's keeping his pinkies out, so he's externally rotated his shoulders. You can already see that little dip in his shoulders. So he's keeping a big chest, turning his arms outwards, externally rotating them to get maximal posterior shoulder, posterior rotator cuff. You can see the infraspinatus really well on this side. So make sure you get full range of motion with this. Try to stay into external rotation as long as you can. Pull, squeeze, and if you hit these rhomboids at the end, then you've kind of got it, right? So this is opening up the front, this is opening up the top of the shoulder, this is pulling our shoulders down and back. We know that his back is very much arched because you can see his erector spiny muscles here basically. Come back, arrow, which means he's staying really tall. You can see with his neck as well, we're keeping the chin back as well. So think about the top of the sternum and pushing that back away from you. We're not going to get a front exercise on this one. One of the reasons I love this exercise is that once you kind of get it, start slow with it. But once you get the exercise, you can get a bunch of repetitions with it and get a bunch of blood flow into those rotator cuff muscles. So do it correctly and then do it a bunch, right? Let's go to the second exercise here. This is Tom Merrick. We're going to learn a little bit about overcoming and yielding in this position. So we're sitting in a 90-90 position. Arms are out here. You can tell he is very much upright because you can see these serratus muscles, right? So he's staying nice and tall. You can see the anterior neck musculature, which means his head is stacked upon his spine. We are weighted out here. And what we're going to do is let the weight go down slowly, and then you're going to bring it back up. Now, one of the things is with this exercise is that as the weight goes down, this lever here of your humerus is going to want to push the distal, the part of your shoulder closest to your body upwards. So this is staying down, obviously, this weight is coming down, but you are going to have to fight to keep this shoulder down. That is basically the entire movement. And if you can do that, and he's doing a great job of it, you're going to notice that you feel it again on that backside. Here though, as the next part is, as he lets the weight go down, do not let your chest fall down as well. We talked about the sternum staying up on the other exercise. This exercise, you need to overcome with your torso, keeping your torso up as the weight goes down. Keeping the shoulder down, keeping the torso up, weight goes down. So this is another thing we've talked about before, this alternating idea of how the body should work. So as the arm goes down, the shoulder will want to pop up naturally, but you're going to fight to keep it down. And you're also going to keep your chest up because as that goes down, it's going to naturally want to go down with you, right? So then I'm going to show you a little bit harder way to do this, but slowly down and then right the way back up. So as you are going down, you're going to put an eccentric strain on the posterior shoulder, whereas that previous exercise was a concentric strain. It's a little bit different, both very necessary for the rotator cuff. Okay, so for the second one, this is going to put a little bit more of a torque on the back. So your arm wasn't at 9 degrees, it's now straight in front of you. You're going to see, and you're going to allow that weight to slowly fall down, and this shoulder very much wants to pop up in this position. So if this is going down, mechanically this will pop up, and that'll also want to cave in the chest. Do not let the chest cave in. If you're watching this YouTube video, let it cave in. Chill out. You're watching Netflix, chill out. Let the chest cave in. It's okay. These exercises, you want to fight to keep that shoulder down and keep that chest up. You can tell he keeps the chest up because he's got these serratus muscles working here. But yeah, you want to keep this very still, slowly allow the weight down. And here he's doing 2 or 3 reps. With this, depending on the weight, this is not that much weight, maybe it's 10 pounds or so. You want a low amount of weight, but a high amount of reps. That's the same thing that kind of goes for this banded exercise, right? The band isn't very much, but you're just getting a high bunch of reps, but you're getting, like I said, lots of blood flow back here concentrically on this one, and then we're going to get a lot of posterior rotator cuff eccentrically. Yes, you also see, of course, his deltoid working. The rotator cuff muscle wraps around the humerus, and so the fibers kind of work together with the deltoid. You might get big round shoulders with this. Fine, so be it. But as this goes down, do not let this shoulder pop up. That is the big thing. That is one of the main reasons why rotator cuff, why you get a general amount of shoulder pain. It's because that shoulder pops up and the chest caves forward. Both of these exercises are really tempting you to allow this arm to go forward, to allow this shoulder and chest to go down, to allow this shoulder to pop up. Don't let it happen. Keep it on a wire, let it go down, and then right back upwards. The pacing with this, as you're going down, you are yielding. The muscles of your rotator cuff are having to decelerate. One of the things people always work on is acceleration. If you've seen any of my knees over the toes guy exercises, we talk a lot about decelerating out of pain. The eccentric is where there's a lot of health. People work on the concentric part of the exercise, and that will get you big and ripped. But one of the big neglected pieces is the yielding part of the exercise, and this is really working that yielding coming forward. Keep that shoulder down, and you will be very, very happy. Thanks for listening today. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. We've got other breakdown videos. Please leave some good comments down below. You guys always leave awesome comments about what videos we should do next, what I missed, what I got wrong, which is probably plenty. But hit subscribe. Check out our podcast. We got a bunch of podcasts on the shoulders. There's a link below to that. Thank y'all for listening. Have a great day.